Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Despite fear tactics and intimidation, people in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and surrounding areas are starting to let their voices be heard. Yeah, fam, everybody's speaking on it, and the people in Ocean Springs are starting to talk. Now, family, this is under the threat of violence. Yeah, they say that the mob runs Mississippi, the KKK specifically runs Mississippi and the rest of the United States. If you look around and you see all of these police shootings and cops getting away with almost 100% impunity, it makes you think that there's some credence to that, right? Yeah. So anyway, fam, we got this guy cutting with E. He is a master barber. He's cutting with E on Instagram. And here's what he had to say about speaking to Nolan Wells' friends and living in the Ocean Springs area and having a relationship with Nolan Wells' family.
See, here's a lot of things that the people in the back of the room don't know. Yes, us locals, we are privy to a lot of things because we know these people. I gave Nolan his first haircut. I know his parents. Been knowing them for years. Been knowing his mom since she was like in high school. I'm real good friends with her family. So here's the deal. When that video came out, and you hear them people on there talking that lady dug up and went and researched and brought up the sounds. The truth is this: if that video is legit, it's a few people in trouble. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Now see, this is the stuff that you gotta wait for. This type of evidence, right? Now, I'm gonna help you out here. Alright? I hear Bart and them parents are suing. Bart's name was mentioned on the video. Okay? Well, I asked one of his friends, who was a black guy, about Bart a few days ago. And they said that Bart was cleared already. And according to the black people, they cleared Bart. I don't even know if the police cleared Bart. But it sounds like the black people that's involved cleared Bart. They said Bart ain't had nothing to do with it. But Bart's name is all over that tape. But if these black guys are telling the truth, then guess what? You see why his daddy's suing. And that's what I'm saying, people. You can't just be so quick to just do this type stuff, man. This stuff take time, bro. Investigation. I'm gonna tell you something, man. By the time it's all said and done, half of Ocean Springs might be going to prison, or half of Ocean Springs might be going on a vacation. You don't know yet, so just chill. And like I said, I know these people. I know they family. All right, we all been knowing each other, so ain't nobody on here taking up for nobody. I'm not looking out. I'm not looking out for nobody on here. I'm only speaking what I think is best to be spoken to keep the peace until the facts come out.
You know what, fam? I ain't got no problem with him saying that. Keep the peace until the facts come out. I ain't got no problem with him saying that. But I do have a problem with Mississippi's history. And if not for all of these cases of black men and women and children being murdered, and the medical examiner coming back with findings of suicide, undetermined, drowned. I'm not with that. If not for all of that, we could sit back, relax, and let the authorities do what they're supposed to do. But what do you think would have happened if Nolan Wells' parents would have sat back and waited on the police to go out there and find his body? It's possible, had they not went out there first and put the press on, that his body would have washed up. I don't know. It may be still out there, you know. But at the same time, you know, it could be somewhere else, because we don't really know if it happened on the boat, if they made it back to shore and then they did what they did, then he came back. We really don't know. It's starting to look like something happened on that boat and that he may have lost his life on that boat, perhaps. And then, you know, it could be a situation where they, you know, took him all the way back to the island and then came back. They didn't know what to do with the body or something. This thing, somebody gonna have to step up. Somebody gonna step up and put the pieces to the puzzle together. Somebody's gonna have to step up. I can understand why E would say, hey, let's just keep the peace until we find out what happens. E is on the ground. He has to live there. So while we're all over the country and other parts of the world speaking on this case, he still has to live there. He still has to get up and go to the grocery store, run errands, do whatever it is that he does while he's living in that particular town, that particular state. So he has to move a little bit differently. So I get that. But I'm going to tell you something. If not for the outside interest in this case, it is possible that we may have never heard about Nolan Wells, and it is possible that nothing would have been done about it. The police, it appears to me, was just not interested in doing any police work. They didn't want to do any detective work. The damn sheriff, day one, said, hey, we don't suspect foul play, without even reviewing the body. He had no official report from a detective, from a journalist, the guy standing on the corner, nothing. And he said, we don't suspect foul play. The fact that he was a missing person and his parents had to go do the detective work of recovering his phone and the keys to his car. Like, where is the damn police? I've recognized in many of these cases, most of the time, the parents, the family members are the lead investigators on the case. Because the police just don't seem interested in solving the cases. They're sitting on their hands. They're not even moving. They're stuck. And this, I do believe, is because of their tight-knit, not community, but tight-knit relationship with the KKK. This is not some, me just running off at the mouth. This is documented that they got Klan members in law enforcement throughout this country. Back in the 60s, law enforcement members boldly declared that they will infiltrate police departments. That would be their next move. They told us exactly what the play was. And they can do that when they know that they're protected, when they know that politicians are part of the plot, when they know that local law enforcement is part of the plot, the people who are tasked with making sure that people abide by the law and keep the public safe. When they know they got them in their corner, they can make those type of bold declarations. They can talk like that. That's why immaterial killers went inside the courtroom just laughing it up. They got pictures of them laughing it up. They can do stuff like that. That is why T.J. Davis' friends could sit in the back seat of a cop car while his body is floating in the river and be laughing and joking it up. This is why they can talk like this. This is why the 2025 agenda could be revealed in 2023. They could say, hey, this is what we plan to do. And then you turn around and they start executing it right in our faces because they got the backup of the government. The only reason why the FBI was able to take out Malcolm and Martin and all of these other civil rights leaders was because of elected officials in Congress. That is the only reason. That's the only reason. You want to stop qualified immunity, the buck starts there. That's where it starts, that's where it stops. These elected officials, are you hearing what I'm saying, fam? I said elected officials, and not just in Congress, but on local level too. The local level impact you more than you can ever imagine. So this is why it's important to know your representatives. This is why it's important to have a relationship with them. Let me tell you something, fam. Wherever you lay your head, you need to be able to have remedies if something go down. You need to be able to know exactly where to go. You need to be able to pick up that phone and get somebody on the phone who can help you take care of that situation. Wherever you lay your head, because where you lay your head is most, if you ever get in trouble in a tight spot, illegally, more than likely, it'll probably be where you lay your head because that's where you spend your most time. So I know that we've been taught that, hey, man, they corny, man. We don't mess with them. We'll say, man, say what you want, but they run it. And they run it. So you can be a part of how your life is ran, or you can just let them have it and be under the illusion that you have some type of control of your life. But let me leave you with this. You ever notice how sometimes in your neighborhood you'll see a building erecting or somebody got some type of major construction going on, like a block from your house? You know, you pull out and oh, damn, what the hell, wonder what they doing. You just wondering. You don't know what the hell going on. You're wondering. They tearing up, they got bulldozers and stuff coming in. They got, concrete trucks and all this type of stuff. You don't know what's going on because you're not involved in the process. But before they were able to do all of that, somebody had to vote on that to allow them to be able to build that. They had to go pull permits and all that type of stuff. They had to put out an article in the local newspapers, right? They have to make these announcements so that if somebody got a protest, somebody want to protest, they can. A lot of times, when you're not involved in the process, man, these people can put up a crazy home facility 1 block away from your house. A crazy home facility, mental institution. You can put a mental institution 1 block away from your house. Look, we know that mental people have to go to an institution, but do you want it 1 block away from your house? We know that there has to be a chemical plant, but do you want the chemical plant in your neighborhood? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.